Hello, forward thinkers. Welcome back to the Future Forward podcast. I'm Ellice, and in today's Rolling Mikan episode, we will cover a very interesting topic that has been a conversation around in the community, which is technology versus skills. And we're going to dive deep into this topic at the very heart of the technological revolution, the interplay between skills and technology. As the world moves fast and forward, we are left to ponder a pivotal question. Does technology today matter more than skills, or the other way around? So stay tuned. So, welcome back, Tim.
Thank you for having me again.
No, we're actually on this together.
Oh, okay.
How are you feeling?
Yeah, great. It's been great.
So I heard that you travel.
Yes, we travel quite a bit.
Cool. I think for this episode, Rolling Mikan episode 2, I want to touch more about what we always discuss behind the scene about technology versus skills. Okay, we have this conversation a lot about how people think what matters, which is not matter at all, or maybe it's actually not the top priority, whereas the top priority should be something else, right? So let's talk about this today, about technology versus skills.
Sure.
So maybe I start off by asking you a question. Technology and skills, which would you choose?
You need both, right?
Okay.
To be successful.
Right?
Honestly, the most important thing is skills, right? You need to have skills in the workplace, for your processes, for your tech team, right? Skills are important. And you can enable skills or enhance skills with technology.
Cool. So that's the full stop, I guess.
Was there more?
I was expecting more. Okay, never mind. Let's jump to the next question. Next. So yeah, this is our ongoing everyday in and out. You know, it gives you a glimpse about how business person think and how a tech person think and how they do things and how a business would expect things. I think in this world, in this modern technology world, there are a high demand of speed to market, and whereas the collaboration of both needs to come together by understanding each other. I think Tim and I work very hard to try to complement each other in many ways. We have our learnings as well. So let's skip and go straight to the questions that I want to ask today, and
Okay.
hopefully our listener loves it too. So how has the ongoing digital transformation influenced the traditional career path in technology? And are we witnessing a shift where adaptability to new technologies takes precedence over specialized skills?
I think we are definitely in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like it used to be the case that the people who learned very old programming languages like COBOL, a lot of these people, they are still on that job like 30, 40 years ago. It's now become kind of a niche thing because nobody learns it anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So it used to be a lot of a longer term career thing to learn one technology.
It still exists, yeah?
It still exists in legacy situations, right? Very old systems.
What is legacy situation? What is legacy? Like people like us, maybe a CEO wants to know, like, what is legacy? In what definition?
So legacy are systems that are critical to business operations, but they are actually already outdated or old, right? So those are systems that company might be looking to replace, but they haven't gotten around to it or was too big of a task, right? And oftentimes the technologies that were used to build those applications are no longer supported, or it's very hard to find resources or people that still know how to do it, and that's where it becomes a legacy technology.
So at what point a company should slowly move forward, adapt to new technology, and slowly, shift away from the legacy?
The shift away from legacy is a continuous movement, right? A lot of companies think, I'll do once every 10 or 20 years, right? But we are now at a exponential growth rate for technology where actually yesterday's system is today's legacy system, right? So the pace has picked up by a lot, which is also impacting the job prospects that we talked about earlier, because now even for people who are trying to get into a career, they'll have a lot more requirements for adaptability skills that we talked about earlier, because they need to be able to do the next thing faster, because the old stuff is going away much faster than before.
Okay, so considering the rapid pace of technology's advancement, what role do professional certifications and formal education play in keeping tech professionals competitive, and are they still as valuable as they once were?
I would say they're still important, maybe not as valuable as they used to be. It used to be that a degree or a master's was a guarantee for a job. If you look at statistics right now, a majority of people actually graduate from a university, or they have some kind of degree. It's really a much bigger group of people right now. And that means that their qualification is worth less by definition, but also because of the rapid change that we see in the technology landscape, what you learned in school today is likely already a few years behind. So you want to be working on your own skills, right? And also, I think industry certifications are picking up in value as well, because they are more up to date.
Right. Maybe a good shout out to an improvement for the education in Malaysia as well. That, you know, there are many times that we try to reach out to schools, universities actually, and colleges, trying to push advanced technologies, but there's a pushback to it. And if we apply to it, it always takes a longer time, and it might take years to approve. By the time we're allowed to do it, we are on another different conversation about technology already. Do you agree to it?
Yes, of course. I gave a talk at the university today. I was in front of 70 students. So I asked them, which one of you is aware of low-code technology? And the answer is 0. 0 out of 70 students were...
0?
Yes, 0.
Oh, I would expect at least 1.
No, there was nobody that got up and said, hey, I know about this, right?
Yeah, so, I guess many people, even in Malaysia itself, not many people that I spoke to know about this technology and what is important, why it matters, instead of seeing it, it's just another fluff, or it's just another, buzzword, like what we do IR 4.0. People say, let's hype it up. But then how to implement it, it's always the showstopper to things. Because not everybody needs to implement IR 4.0. And same goes to low code when it matters, but nobody try to, understand what it does for the company, right? Or in this case, for students that I spoke to, they need to know, not because working on it, but it's an option of an exposure for their career path.
Yes, you need an adaptable and inquisitive mind to survive in today's workplace. Another not low-code related example is that a lot of students were surprised that their CVs will be scanned by software. So I told them, hey, if you submit your resume to a big company, make sure that it's machine readable, because our software does this, but a lot of big companies software also do this. They extract information from your resume file. So if your file is not readable, let's say you put your name in a picture and the software can't read it, that means that you might get disqualified from a job before even applying. Right? And what I see a lot is students are relying on their university to provide their input. And what the job market needs right now and what the changes are in the landscape is that it's more important than ever to go out and find out information about new technologies, about how things work.
So we hope that moving forward, there are more individuals, also talents, will take this as a serious matter. Don't stay put, always learn more and lead your life instead of accept your life, right? Okay, cool. I don't want to run too away from the topic that we have. So I have a question about, since we're on the same topic, about how do you see the relationship between skills and technology evolving in the next decade? Are they are there any emerging trends or technologies that will reshape this dynamic even further?
Yes, I think in technology, what you see is mostly acceleration in many ways. But we do it with low code. There's a lot of machine learning automation going on, and that impacts both the amount of skill required from people, the skill set, right, and also how a job should be approached, right? One thing to keep in mind is that there's always going to be need for qualified, skillful people.
Yes.
Now, the question is, what are those skills, right? Those skills are not the usual repetitive ones that we had in the past, where it's like, oh, I make database queries all day, right? Like in our company, like all this stuff is already automated, right? And so that happens for a lot of things. So in terms of required skill set, a lot of it is moving more towards communication, interaction with people, right? And then combining the communication part with the interaction to technology, right? So can you translate what a human is saying into instruction for a machine, right? And even if it's not programming, it's then in low code or in machine learning prompts or other ways where you want to be able to convey that message.
Interesting. Right. Well, we hope that, this podcast will benefit more talents. I think today's podcast is very much focused about young talents out there, especially a lot of talents out there that are not aware that, other than just your skills, you need to have the communication, the other part of the skills, and also the attitude, right, at work that we always talk about. So on the next question, I want to ask you, being a small business and also a growing company like Orange Leaf Consulting, right, in a world of tech startups and entrepreneurship, where resources are often limited. So how do founders decide between investing in building a highly skilled team or leveraging accessible technologies to launch their products? I think this one, easy question.
Yes, I mean, it's a money question. It's a question about money, right?
Yeah.
It's about where is the biggest ROI for your path forward, right? So you're trying to achieve a business goal, and there are multiple ways and even combination of those two options to get there. And what we need to look at carefully is, given our team size, right, what is the right amount of affordable technology that we can apply together with the right amount of skills so that we can get to the optimized result, business result that we're trying to achieve.
Okay. So what about, can you provide a real world example or case study where individuals or organizations face a critical decision between prioritizing technology adoption, I'm jet lagged, right? Or skills development? What were the outcomes?
I think every company is struggling with that, right? I think mostly what we see a lot right now in the market is that there's a struggle to do talent acquisition and skill development, and some of that overhead is being taken away by technology. So let's say a company is looking for somebody to fill a certain role, and then they can't find anybody qualified on time. They end up with technology that can maybe automate that, right? So that's actually happening a lot. And I think it's for the job market, it's important to look at that. If you're on the job market right now, like, what can you do that's actually valuable to these companies? Because they'll have more options going forward to just automate things instead.
Right. So for our listeners out there, who are aspiring tech professionals, what actionable steps can they take today to strike the right balance between acquiring skills and harnessing technology to future-proof their careers?
I think there's a few things that they can do, right? One is what we talked about earlier a little bit, adaptability, right? Make sure that you're adaptable, you're looking out there inquisitively about what are the new things that you can learn and know about.
Yeah, but how do you motivate yourself? Sometimes, it's hard, I want to do something, but I'm not motivating enough to do it. So how do you motivate yourself?
Naturally, being interested in technology helps. If you're in a technology field, right, you want to have a interest in it, right? You want to know things about it, right? And if you do, you will naturally stumble upon the things that you need to know, right? The main key is to not be complacent with what you've learned in school, right? Or even at your current job, but actually look at, okay, what is actually out there? You'll find this very exciting once you get out there and see the new things that can be done and the ways that they can combine into new job opportunities, new career paths. It's actually a very exciting time to be exploring technology.
Right. I think one of the things I want to bring it up to have this conversation today that is not in this, as I mentioned, we always want to keep a little bit here, like raw as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The recent interview opening that we have, the positions opening that we have, we gave tests to the talents, the candidates.
Yes.
Right. And to our surprise, to your surprise, the most experienced, not all, but the most experienced people failed the exam.
Yes.
That we gave them.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the one that passed the exams have the least experience.
Yes.
Is there a reason why? Or do you know why?
In general, I can only guess because I'm not the candidates themselves, but my expectation is that younger people are more inquisitive by default, right? And people that have been on the job market for many years, they might be a bit more stuck in their ways, a bit more like gotten used to the technology that they're using, right? And if you have a limited view of what's going on out there, then this will impact your ability to solve problems. It's not just that we test people based on the latest technology. A lot of our questions, you don't need to be up to date with the latest programming language to do it.
The questions are EQ questions, basically. And it's all more to more common sense as well.
Yeah,
and
logic
and reasoning.
Yes.
I saw the questions. It's like, it's even you gave me a test about it, it's purely on analytical thinking.
Yes, but this is a muscle that you need to use in order to grow, right?
Yeah.
So if you are in a very comfort zone job where you don't have to question a lot of things, you don't have to analyze a lot of things, it will become more difficult, right? That's why in the technology field, it's so important to keep flexing that muscle, to keep learning new things and solving problems, because that will lead into new career paths.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. It's really hard sometimes. I know some individuals find it, after years and years, you kind of lost your vision, what you want to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right? I think the result that we saw recently on the test was quite shocking.
Yeah, it's eye-opening for sure.
Yeah, some are more than 10 years experience, 8 years, I don't know. The one that scored the highest only probably have 2 years experience or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but well, anyway, we're sharing with you this today. It's to inspire you and to share with you on the fact that we are working on a day-to-day insight from Orange Consulting. We want to share more technology conversation with you so that it would inspire you. And I hope that you see this podcast as a motivation, or it's a knowledge, sharing, more than it's just a boring podcast. We're still learning a lot, but I think we have to start somewhere. We talk about podcasts for many years. So I love this conversation with you, and we should wrap it up. As usual, that times is limited. Otherwise, I can talk until the cow come home.
I know you can.
And there you have it, folks. The final piece of puzzle in our exploration of whether technology matters more than skills. What a fascinating discussion with you. As usual, we will have to think of the next one to talk about.
For sure, yeah. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, you're going to be here for a while.
Looking forward to it.
So a huge thank you to my partner here. He's done a brilliant job in sharing his expertise with us. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. So I hope you all enjoy our episode 2 Rolling Mikan today. We'll see you soon again on the next episode. See you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Ellice.
Thank you,
everyone.